So, Sadhguru, shall we begin?
Yes, sir.
So, I thought a good way to begin the conversation would be to pick up a question on first impressions.
How did you foresee I will come in red today?
Just a coincidence, I didn't foresee it. So, I thought a good way to begin the conversation would be to pick up a question on first impressions. So, I mean, both you and I would have heard the popular phrases, little knowledge is dangerous knowledge, and don't judge the book by its cover. So, how do you weigh these expressions when we think of the concept of first impressions? As I understand it, first impressions are mental images that we create when we see someone or hear someone and the first interaction that we have with that person. So, and it's also possible that our first impressions are wrong. So, are first impressions something which confuse your mind, or is it something which gives you initial clarity? So, and why is it that, I mean, how do we control our mind from racing
That's a
these
long
conclusions?
question. Okay. You have heard of the term love at first sight? So these things this is a English expression. These things used to happen when the genders had not met, they were secluded largely. So the first time a young girl with her parents in a carriage, she was going and you looked at her, she looked at you like this. It's been a long time since you saw a girl's face, instantly, okay? But that doesn't happen anymore because they're always around you, you take your time, which is a good thing. So, I don't think you should make any impression of anything or anybody just by simply looking at it once, unless you have become such a mystic that if you see, you just know, okay? Why I'm saying this is, see, I spend a whole lot of my time and life just paying attention to things. Because when I was very young, I realized, when I was just 4.5 years of age, I realized I don't know anything. Because I don't know anything, I started paying attention to everything, smallest things. If I find a pebble, I will be looking at it for hours. If I find a leaf, I will be looking at it for many hours. If I sit on my bed in the darkness, I'm just staring at the darkness for the whole night. My dear father, being a physician, he started thinking, I need psychiatric evaluation. Because this boy is simply staring at something for hours on end without blinking, it looks like he's lost his mind. My problem is, I look at this and I don't know what this is. So I'm not able to shift my eyes to that, so I just stay with this. This went on like this and in this condition they sent me to school. My mother said, you must pay attention to the teacher. I went and paid attention to the teacher. The kind of attention they would have never received in their life. About 9 years ago, this school where I studied almost 45 years ago, they invited me for their 125th anniversary. The trustees came to invite me. I said, see, why me? Because I was not just a not good student, I was not even a student. I only went to school when it was a must. Most of the time nobody noticed me and I just vanished somewhere. So I said, why me? I'm not a good example for your students. They said, our school has produced union ministers, our school has produced cricketing stars, film stars, you are the only mystic, you must come. I said, okay, and I went there. I stood up to speak in the quadrangle, I just looked around the same oppressive buildings. You have a fantastic, a campus. It's a fortune because it's not just about education, it's about living in a certain atmosphere is a very important thing for learning. So, these are city schools which are like that. Then I looked at this classroom and I suddenly remembered, I was just 12 years of age. One afternoon, the teacher is trying to get some response from me. Those days I'm made like this, for many days I won't utter a single word. When you don't know anything, what to say? I'm still trying to drink up the world, nothing to say. So this man is asking question, I'm just looking at him. After some time, I don't even hear what he's saying. If I look at him, I know his past, present and future. I can tell him everything about his life, but I don't know what the hell he's talking. Because I never listen to anybody, I just look at them. So, if you're able to look at people like that, then it's okay. Otherwise, definitely looking at the appearance of a person if you're making judgment, or appearance of a situation if you're making a judgment, especially you're going to be lawyers, by looking at what people are saying, if you make a judgment, they will be telling all kinds of stories to you. So you never make any impression, you need to delve into certain things. So whether it's individual people or situations, aspects of life or decisions we need to make, it's best that we get the maximum input out of whatever we are looking at, because otherwise we will go on regretting what we have done. People who spend time in regret, they won't do much in life because it consumes so much energy.